I spent 40 years under the scorching sun, building a roof over my children's heads. I skipped meals so their plates would be full. I wore the same tattered shoes for years so they could walk with pride. I believed I was building a sanctuary for my old age. I did not realize I was building a house of cards that would collapse when I stopped earning. The change came slowly and painfully. First, the respect disappeared. Then the conversations stopped. Finally, my son and daughter-in-law treated my presence like a stain on their modern life. They said I was becoming forgetful. They said I was a burden on their privacy. Eventually, I was moved to a cramped, suffocating rental room. I accepted it with a heavy heart, believing this was the silent fate of every aging father. But fate had other plans for me. An old forgotten piece of ancestral land suddenly became valuable. A major development project began there. Overnight, a large amount of money was deposited into my account. With that money, I did not seek luxury. I sought peace instead. I bought a large farmhouse on the outskirts of the city. It was surrounded by ancient trees and the smell of fresh earth. Soon news of my wealth spread quickly. Within days, there was a knock on my door. I opened it and saw my son and daughter-in-law standing there. My daughter-in-law rushed forward to touch my feet. Her smile felt cold and artificial. She said they had been worried about me living alone. She said the house was too big for one person. She said they had packed their bags to come and live with me again. A cold realization settled in my heart. I knew they were not here for me, but for my property. I did not argue with them. I simply stepped aside and let them enter. They walked inside like they already owned the place. Their eyes scanned every corner, calculating their share. But when they reached the grand central hall, they suddenly stopped. Their faces turned pale in shock. Instead of luxury, the house was filled with children. 30 orphaned children were laughing and playing on the lawns. Inside, the rooms were lined with small, humble beds. On the main wall stood a large wooden plaque. It read, "This sanctuary is dedicated to the children of God, an orphanage for the homeless." I looked directly at my son. My voice was calm but firm. I told him that if he truly cared about family, he should stay and serve these children. I told him these children had no parents and needed love. I told him that legally I no longer owned a single brick of this place. I had already donated everything to this foundation. Their confident smiles disappeared instantly. There was no luxury for them to claim, no wealth for them to drain from me. They stood there silently, overwhelmed with shame. Without speaking, they picked up their suitcases, the same bags they had packed with such confidence. They slowly walked out of the gate and disappeared. As the gate closed behind them, a small boy ran to me. He held my hand tightly. For the first time in many years, my heart felt light. I had lost a son of blood, but I had gained a family of souls. I was finally home.